Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to jump right in and unpack something you probably walk or drive past every single day, completely without a second thought. Drawing directly on some really fascinating insights from Eng's notes on gardening, we're exploring a very practical yet totally hidden reality happening right in our own neighborhoods. We're talking about the specific reasons why city councils are actively cutting down mature roadside trees. Which begs a massive question right out of the gate, doesn't it? Why on earth would cities deliberately remove beautiful, mature trees? I mean, we all know urban trees provide huge environmental and aesthetic value. They give us shade, they bring a much-needed touch of nature to all that concrete, and they make our streets look, well, incredibly inviting. At first glance, chopping them down almost seems completely backwards. Section 1. The Urban Tree Dilemma. Okay, let's dive into this because this is exactly where the gritty reality of urban planning meets the idealism of nature. City planners are basically locked in a constant tug of war. On one hand, you've got that undeniable aesthetic and environmental value. But on the flip side, you have the stark reality of safety hazards and major infrastructure conflicts. And, here's the unvarnished truth from our source. When these conflicts pop up, as much as we absolutely love the greenery, tree removal becomes an absolute necessity. We kind of have to look at this impartially. It's not about being anti-nature. It's about making really tough calls when a massive living organism directly threatens public safety and how a city actually functions. Section 2. Storm risks and collapses. To really wrap our heads around these hazards, we actually need to look up first. It is super easy to admire a towering canopy on a bright, sunny afternoon, right? But the math changes drastically when the weather turns nasty. Check out this wild fact. A mature tree canopy can weigh several tons, holding hundreds of gallons of water in its leaves alone. That's like parking a couple of cars up in the sky. During thunderstorms and heavy winds, all that immense weight goes from being a lovely shade provider to a massive structural liability. These storms act like an intense stress test on older trees. Under that kind of pressure, weakened branches can just snap in an instant. Or, even scarier, actually think about this. If the tree has an unstable root system, the entire thing can completely collapse. It's not just a minor road blockage. It is a severe, immediate safety risk to anyone walking or driving by. Section 3. The root intrusion problem. Let's move to and see how this builds, because honestly, the danger isn't just falling from the sky. It's creeping silently right beneath our feet. We're shifting our focus down into the ground to look at these subterranean infrastructure clashes that are causing massive invisible headaches for city planners literally everywhere. Root intrusion. It's a pretty intense phrase for a massive hidden threat. Take a second to really think about this. A mature tree looks perfectly still to us as we walk by, but underground, its expanding root system is incredibly active. These roots are silently, relentlessly pushing out of bounds, squeezing through incredibly tight urban spaces under the pavement, and exerting tremendous hydraulic pressure as they grow. Let's walk step by step through exactly how this underground invasion actually plays out. Step 1. The root systems naturally expand outward and downward as the tree matures and hunts for nutrients. Step 2, these powerful expanding roots inevitably slam into structural barriers where they just start buckling sidewalks and seriously damaging building foundations. And then, step 3, in their desperate search for moisture, these roots will aggressively wrap around, penetrate, and eventually rupture underground sewer and water lines. I mean, just imagine the catastrophic cost and the absolute chaos of a ruptured city water main flooding a whole neighborhood. And it's all caused by a tree just naturally doing what it needs to survive. Section 4. Remove and replace strategy. Now, while policies obviously vary depending on your specific city council and local environment, officials aren't just clear-cutting our streets and leaving us with barren concrete. They actually have a very specific, forward-looking strategy to fix these dual threats from above and below. So the crucial point is captured perfectly in a direct quote from our source material. As Eng notes, many city councils follow a remove and replace approach. Basically, they're actively planning for the future of the roadside canopy. They are acknowledging that, yes, we have to remove the immediate danger, but they're simultaneously committing to replacing that greenery in a much smarter, safer way. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark difference in the replacements popping up on our sidewalks. Think about hazardous, older, mature trees that have totally outgrown their urban environment versus their new, safer replacements. Cities are swapping out these massive liabilities for younger plant species. They're specifically choosing varieties with non-invasive root systems, opting for smaller ornamental species, and prioritizing trees that naturally have deep, contained root habits. By fundamentally changing the type of tree, they basically eliminate that root intrusion problem and drastically reduce the risk of a catastrophic wind collapse, all while keeping our neighborhoods beautifully green. It really changes how you view a simple walk around the block, doesn't it? So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Next time you see a roadside tree, will you look for the hidden hazards above and below? We live in this incredibly delicate, constantly shifting balance between maintaining the urban infrastructure we rely on and preserving the nature right on our own streets. Hopefully this explainer has given you a completely new lens to view your city through. Keep your eyes open and keep questioning the world around you.